Are you a married woman with an identity crisis? Who you are, where were you, what you're doing now, where do you want to go? These are big questions. And you're definitely not alone. Okay, because a lot of things change after marriage, especially with the mind. The mindset, 100% change in that. Okay, and this YouTube video is specifically dealing with the mindset of a married woman or with the mindset of a woman who gets married, and how the way she becomes, the way she adapts, it becomes a loop, and she's in that loop for ever and ever until she doesn't decide to step out, and thinking isn't enough for that. This is Payal Khanchandani. I'm a health and a fitness coach for women. Okay, and today we're going to talk about what happens after women get married. Okay, so when a woman gets married, subconsciously, all she does is give. It's about giving. It's about giving. It's not about receiving. It's only about giving. She doesn't allow herself to receive. So she goes into that loop where, if someone asks something of her, she does it. If there's work to be done, she does it. Whether if it's family, whether if it's husband, whether if it's anything, she's only doing. She's only giving. Now that gets registered as the subconscious mind as being normal. To give excessively and to be a giver is normal. But if someone wants to try and do something for her, she doesn't receive it. She can't receive it because her mind is so embedded with the thought that she's only going to give. She doesn't allow even anything for her to be receiving anything. Now that could be even a simple compliment. She may not take it. Some people just ignore a compliment completely. Like if someone gets a compliment and then if you're accepting it, you say, thank you so much. But those who don't accept the compliment or accept by bouncing back again a compliment, like if someone tells you, hey, I love your dress. Hey, thank you, I love your dress too. There was, unless you don't really love that person's dress, there was no reason to give back that compliment. So receiving, or if someone wants to do something for you today and offers you, hey, you know what? Let me do that for you today. And you say, no, that's okay, I will do it. Why? Because that was a natural instinct that was coming to you. No, I will do it. But next time, when you think about giving, and if someone offers you something, just pause there for a second and be open to receiving. It is okay to receive. It is okay to take a break. It is okay to think about yourself. It is okay to be selfish at times. We need to learn to understand where to draw the line between being a nice person and obviously, doing things for others, which is also part of a responsibility, okay, as a role of a wife, a mother, as a daughter-in-law. So all of that is good, but you need to know where to draw the line, because it's a loop. You give, you sacrifice, you adjust, and by doing all that, what happens to the mind? If you're going to do all that, the little voice in your head is going to become louder. The negative chatter in the mind increases, and nothing is worth messing up your mind up there. Nothing. So if you're going to keep doing, giving, the frustration is going to build up. Now, why is the frustration building up? If you're doing and if you're giving, you should be happy. You should be the most happiest person on earth. But instead, you're upset, you're frustrated, your inner voice in your head keeps basically putting you down, you don't get to do things that you love to do the most. Why? I used to be a total people pleaser. I have been a people pleaser since childhood. What do you mean by people pleaser? Can't say no. Our mom hated that about me. She would be like, why did you do this? And no matter how many times she tried to teach me that just learn to say no, it's not that difficult, I just couldn't. I was stuck in that loop forever of not being able to say no. So if 5 people ask me 5 things to do, and then obviously if I don't have time for doing 5 things in that day, I'm going to end up doing 3. And 3 also would be in not so perfection types. It would just be like for the sake of doing. So I would definitely get galis from those 3, and definitely from those 2 who I committed to and I didn't end up doing. And all I had to say was no, I cannot do this because it's going to take up my time, or because I have something else to do, or because I have planned something else for myself. All I had to do was that. But throughout my childhood, throughout my teenage life, and now I broke that habit in my 40s, but I've just been that way. So for every person who finds it so difficult to say no, I understand, but only by thinking that next time I will say no to that person, because I can't do this. Will you achieve it? If you just think about it, if you think that, okay, next time when the same person comes to me and this has been such a hassle for me to do it, next time I'm going to say the person no. Next time the same thing happens, will you say the person no? No, you won't. Because if thinking was enough for you to action upon, or for you to get results, we all would just think. We would think about become a better person, and there we become a better person. We would think about becoming a millionaire, and there you go, we're millionaires. It doesn't work that way. A thought is a thought, and action needs to be taken to give that thought life. So if you have to say no, you will have to practice, you will have to do certain practice or habit change to say no. And this is coming from a person who has said yes, maybe pretty much 30 years of my life, I would say. And it's easy, because you're going to end up only losing your identity in the process. You're so busy to doing things for others. And it doesn't matter, okay, whether it's, it doesn't have to be someone distant also. Even if it's with your family, you are going to be taken for granted, because you have taken yourself for granted. So let's not even go there. If you're going to say no, or if you're going to learn how to say no, and I'm not saying it's going to happen today, tomorrow, overnight. It's going to take months, but you'll be able to do it. And you'll be able to say no without feeling guilty. See, most of the time we think that, okay, if we say no, what will the other person think of me? But think about this logically. That other person, what he thinks of you is his opinion or her opinion. It's none of your business. What he is going to be thinking shouldn't affect you. It doesn't concern you. Even if it's whatever he's thinking about you, it doesn't concern you. That's that person's opinion. So by saying no, sometimes you're only thinking about yourself, which is fine. It is normal to think about yourself. There's nothing abnormal in it. It's just that we've been conditioned throughout the years that this is how it is, or we've seen our parents do it and our grandparents and all. It's just been there. But logically, it's not correct. If the person who's asking you to do the task, if there is an urgency to it, give your heart and soul to do it. I do that way. Give my heart and soul to do it. But if it's just something that really doesn't need you, but it's just a convenience point of view, then just say no. Because you have 100 things to do, 100 better things to do you could do for yourself. And if you're happy from within, you spread that happiness and love. But if you're frustrated and irritated from within, everyone around you can sense that, they can feel that vibration. We go about doing so much, or you go about doing so much just to win people's hearts. You don't realize that in that winning circle, or in that, in that loop of just winning, you're losing yourself. You're losing yourself. And this has to stop. You should be a better person than you are today, than you were yesterday, than tomorrow, than the day after. There should be a progress. But if you're going to be the same person as you were 3 years ago and the same person now, currently, where is the personal growth? I'm not talking about any other growth. Yeah, you may have your, you may have your finances in place, you may have more cars, you may be in a better house, but what about your personal growth? Why is that like given least importance? For the next few videos, I'm going to be coaching about mindset. I do a lot of one-to-one free coaching as well. So if any of you want to be coached by me, you're most welcome to drop in the comments, or you could DM me on my Insta handle payal.kanchandani, and I will set up an appointment for you and help you to get through this, because you're not alone. We are not alone. We're like a whole women community, and most of them just don't really prefer talking about it because they've just accepted it that this is how it should be, but this is how it should not be. And I have seen that change, and I have done that change, and I'm a much more happier person, and so is my family. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful transformation, and every woman should experience this. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and let's make this world a better place. Thank you.